the headlines at 9:02 with me, Kevin Oliver. West Ham has said that it will ban all fans who were involved in the plot to attack the Manchester United team's coach on the way to Upton Park. West Ham will move to the Olympic Stadium from the 2016 and 17 season. Former Prime Minister Gordon Brown has said that for the UK to leave the EU isn't very British, to go back to Europe's guidelines. Sticking with the UK, the UK economy has fallen back into a recession for the third time in 8 years. In Crawley has announced friendlies against three British, East Grinstead and Millwall. These will be taking place in July-August time. Good evening and a warm welcome to this installment of 39 Problems and Hurricane Dean caused all of them with me, Kevin Oliver. I am with you until 11 p.m. In the meantime, I have wonderful tracks come out for you, including the Kooks. Duran Duran and Kygo are all coming up in the next 10 minutes and informing you where the name came from. I am starting this installment with Way Back When by Codaline. It brings back memories of when I heard this for the first time ever, and I will be listening to it on repeat all the time. I am going to share my memories of when we experienced Hurricane Dean in Playa del Carmen, Mexico in 2007. It was the most intense storm in the Atlantic hurricane season. Hurricane Wilma hit the area a couple of years ago. I was so excited about going to Mexico for the first time ever. I had no idea of what would await me in those 2 weeks. Experiencing a hurricane was the last thing on my mind. When I first found out that we were going to face a Category 5 hurricane, I was terrified because I didn't know what to expect in a Category 5 hurricane. At that moment, we didn't know what the impacts would be on the community of Playa del Carmen. We could see businesses being boarded up, and the noise levels went up to another level. When we wanted to leave, we couldn't because the flights were fully booked. At that point, it was like a ghost town. I thought it was a bad idea coming to Mexico, but I didn't mean it. It was just how I felt at the time. When I look back on it, I was probably overreacting. A recap of the news headlines. The profits at Volkswagen has taken a massive turn for the worse following the emissions scandal. Final teams for Euro 2016 have to be named by the end of today. In Crawley, radio extraordinaire Justin Wilkes is coming to 6 degrees Crawley on the 10th of June. He will be joined by Dan Hill, who is well known for Sometimes When We Touch. The day after, Beyond the Barricade comes to the Hawth Crawley. Beyond the Barricade has delighted audiences in the UK and Europe for more than a decade. You can still get your tickets by going to hawth.co.uk, or you can phone the box office on 01293 503 636. That's 01293 503 636. You can also hire the hall for business events and birthday parties. To find out more information, simply email hawthhire@parkwoodbuilders.co.uk. I remember that we had to get food that didn't need to be heated, and the supermarkets were very busy because everyone was getting food. The hotel management told us to stay in our rooms from 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. the next morning, as it would be far too dangerous. The officials told us to stay away from the windows in case we get hit by flying glass. The Mexican government banned all sale of alcohol for the duration of Hurricane Dean because they were afraid that looting would occur. For us to be involved in a Category 5 hurricane, which Hurricane Dean was, are an extremely rare event, as only 3 have actually hit the United States of America since records began. I did not know that until now. At several points we thought that we would have to be evacuated, but it never happened. Still to come, Michael Bublé, Celine Dion and Keane. On the night of Hurricane Dean making landfall, we had to take shelter in a nearby restaurant. At the same time, we could hear ambulances all the time. The lightning was amazing and nothing that I have ever experienced before. The day after Hurricane Dean, we could see dead fish everywhere, and the beach was completely unrecognizable from when we first arrived in Playa del Carmen. Thankfully, Hurricane Dean wasn't as nearly as bad as we thought it would be. There were a couple of trees down, but life in Playa del Carmen went back to normal fairly quickly, which would have been a massive relief to the locals. I remember the power would be coming on and off again. It was terrifying. When we were flying back home to England, there were people wearing I Survived Hurricane Dean t-shirts, and that made our day. Get this, there were even Hurricane Dean cocktails. I would have dealt with Hurricane Dean a lot better if I had a strawberry daiquiri in my hand, but I couldn't because the Mexican government banned all sale of alcohol until Hurricane Dean was over. Even though experiencing a hurricane for the first time ever was a terrifying experience, I knew that I would remember this experience for years to come.